Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is your brother Barak coming at you with another lesson. I pray it's edifying and exhorting. All right, pretty much be a quick lesson. It's like a quick lesson going into, we're pretty much coming to the time of reward, the time of payment. All right, and each man will be rewarded based on his work, okay, based on the things in which in the things in which he have done in this in your walk, whether you're in the truth or not. The Lord is handing out rewards, man. Whether it's salvation or destruction. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in the book of Matthew, chapter 20, starting at verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. All right, and the householder is who? Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. So through his spirit, he has set forth what teachers, apostles, what to call us into this truth. What we're not called into this truth to be sign holders and just stand around. No, but we're called into this truth to do what? To work. All right. That's why we can, brothers, whenever we talk about, you know, doing lessons or reading and studying, we always say, hey man, I gotta go do the work, you know, getting built up in the spirit. Verse 2. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. All right. And that penny represents what? Salvation. All right. So the Lord sent them into where his vineyard. And you can also read in the book of Isaiah, the fifth chapter, the Lord likens Israel to his vineyard. All right. So verse 3, it says, and he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, go ye also in the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. All right, so that show you forth that what you have the head apostles, from their elders that was set up, right? And then later on, what the Lord brought more men. Later on, he brought more men. Then eventually, what we end up being woken up. The scriptures speak about what the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray for what? More laborers. So pray for what? The Lord to hire the more men, to bring more men, more true and sincere men into this truth. To what? To feed the flock for the perfecting of the saints. Right? Pursuing the Revelation, the seventh chapter, we can't get out of here until what? The elect is sealed. Okay. So verse 4, and said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. Again, he went out about the sixth and ninth hour and did likewise. You see, so that showed that what? That this word continues to grow. The Lord and he's continually calling, he's drawing in his elect, placing that mark of exemption, which you can read about in Ezekiel, the ninth chapter, placing that mark of exemption upon his elect, upon his men. That way what? That way he will spare us in the time of destruction, okay? What we will receive of that penny, which is salvation. All right. Verse 6. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle? They said unto him, because no man hath hired us. He said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. You see? So now what? We got GMS camps all through the four corners of the earth. Okay, you got YouTube videos going out with this true and sincere doctrine. So what? Why stand ye that idle? You know, you receive this word, you receive this word to teach, to preach. Lest the blood, lest their bloods be upon your hand because you didn't warn, right? So why stand ye there idle, man? You got to do this work. All right, if you want to get paid, you got to do the work. You trying to hide that talent in the napkin? Amen. The Lord will strip that from you what He gave you. You see, verse 7. They say unto him, because no man hired us, he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. Like it. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. All right, so you come into this truth. No matter when you came into this truth, man, the Lord woke you up, and you ultimately come in and start doing the work, serving Him, in truth and sincerity, teaching His word. All right, living in holy conduct. All right, being a testimony of the word, not just by what you speak, but by the way we carry ourselves. Okay, what we gonna receive with that reward. Verse 10, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny, going to what? Salvation. That at the end of the day, it is going to be levels and rank, but it's that penny is salvation, man. You receive that 1 penny, man. You are, hey man, you richer than you could ever be, man, with salvation, man. That new body being changed, immortal, the new covenant being placed in us. All right, you see. Verse 11, when they had received it, they murmured against the good men of the house, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst thou not agree with me for a penny? You see that? And that show you how valuable, this truth is. Okay, because even the men that been started, that been doing the work, what they understood how valuable it was, like, hey, yeah, man, I work all day to receive that penny. You see? So they are, hey, that's the thing too. Whenever the Lord sends forth that spirit unto you and reveal this truth unto you, hey, you got to get on the job right then and there. You see? Lest ye be left without. You see, but what these men, going to the first laborers that started, you know, hey, what they understood what they was getting themselves involved to. Although they murmured here in verse 11, you see, but they still received that salvation. Verse 12, saying, these have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. This not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is and go thy way. I will give unto this last, I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last, for many be called, but few chosen. You see? So and you got elder man that was in the world longer than you. So of course, the Lord dealing with them, they're gonna be doing the work longer than a younger man that's just coming up. But that's why the scripture say, work out thy own salvation with fear and trembling. You come across this truth, it's all about what you go do for that reward. Because at the end of the day, the reward is coming, man. Whether it's going to be unto righteousness or unto whether it's going to be unto salvation or condemnation. Let's go ahead to the book of Revelation, chapter 22, and we'll go down to the verse 11. Look at that. It says the final message. Let's start at verse 11. It says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. All right. So you came into this truth and you doing the work. Hey, continue to do the work, to be just, to be holy. Why? Because your reward is coming. But for those who out there standing idle, who don't want to put their hand upon a plow, who out here BSing, the ones that are unjust and filthy, hey, let them be, because what they're going to receive their reward too. Verse 12, it says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. You see? So the Lord he go pay you for the work that you have done. Going into those who tend to the vineyard, like we quoted earlier, Isaiah the 5th chapter, the vineyard is the nation of Israel. Those who's tending to the Lord's vineyard, okay, they're going to receive that penny, which is salvation. But those who not out here doing the work, what are they going to receive? They're going to receive nuclear missiles. All right. And those who aren't tending to the vineyard right, you out there bullshitting, hey man, you gonna be fired, man. The Lord ain't finna pay you. You out there doing a half-ass job. You ain't out there watering the plants. And when I say watering, with what? That doctrine, taking care of the vineyard, you know, reproving them, rebuking them, because a vine dresser, what? Hey, you gotta you gotta prune it sometime. You see? Matter of fact, let's get that. And I believe that's John the 15th chapter. No, not the 15th. What is that? Maybe the 13th. Bear with me 1 second. Pull it up here. Oh, yeah, Khan, it was the 15. John chapter 15. Yep. John 15 and 1. It says, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. All right. So the most high is the planter. All right. And we got and Yahweh Shai is the way to the most high. He is that true vine. So you gotta go the most high planted Yahweh Shai. So you gotta go through Yahweh Shai to get to the most high. Verse 2, this is what I want to get. It says, every branch of me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So going into what they're reproving and rebuking, hey, what you out here catching hell, you could be out here doing the work and truth and sincerity, but yeah, you still catching hell. But why? Because the Lord is purging you that way you may bring forth more fruit. That's how it is when you tend it to a plant, man. You have to purge it, you have to trim it. Let's see if we got any information on that word purge here. Ca- Cathero, Cathero, and it says to cleanse of filth and purity. You see that? To prune trees and vines from useless shoots. You see that? So that's what we got to do. And that's the beautiful thing about doing these lessons, edifying and exhorting. When you're doing this, you're tending to what? The Lord's vineyard. Okay? You see? Wherewithal should the young man cleanse his way by taking heed unto the word. You see that? The Lord has set us up forth what? To tend to the vineyard, to do the work, to take care of his men. All right? So I want to grab a little bit in this Isaiah the 5th chapter. I quoted it. Grab some meat out of this. Then we can go ahead and wrap it up. Just to bring that point home. Yep, look at that parable of the vineyard. Isaiah chapter. Let's just go ahead and start at the top. Now will I sing to my well beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. You see that? What did Yahweh try to say? Tend to my vineyard. My well beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. You see that? So and that's why you have to tend to the vineyard. You see what? To prune off those useless shoots, to keep the plants in your crops from growing wild. You see that? And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I would do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it should be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it should be trodden down. And that's exactly what happened. Why? Because we was growing forth as wild grapes. We was going off. We wasn't following the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, and what the Lord scattered us. He said what he said he would break down. What was that at? He said, I will take away the hedge. You see that? So the Lord took away that hedge from us, took away that covering, and what the curses pursued us and overtook us. You see, but what? Now in these latter days, the Lord has sent for his men, his prophets, to teach us what? To what? Tend to the vineyard. So this is the Lord tending back unto his vineyard again. The Lord have remembered us. He's looking back upon us, man. So that's why tending to the vineyard is very, very, very important, man. This is the work of the Lord. All right. Verse 6 it says, and I will lay it waste and it shall not be pruned. You see that? So and we just went to that word prune in John the 15th chapter. That word purge. It went back to what? Pruning those vines, taking care of, reproving, rebuking. Okay? Straightening out. leading to that right arrow, leading in the right way, so to say. It says, "And I will lay it waste; it should not be pruned nor digged, but there should come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it." And what? That rain is that doctrine. They tell you that in Deuteronomy the 32nd chapter. The Lord said He will what bring forth His doctrine down as rain. You see, for the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah His pleasant plant. He looked for judgment, and behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. But the point is what? For the vineyard, let's highlight that. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. See that? So that's who this vineyard is leading to, man. Okay. These scriptures are written in parables, man. So this is that vineyard that must be taken care of. But if you're not taking care of the Lord's vineyard, hey man, you're not gonna get a payment, man. You'll be your payment will be death and destruction for playing with the Lord's money, playing with His vineyard. We are His chosen, His choice vessels, man. All right. Let's see. I might got one more. Or wrap it out. Wrap it up. I believe it's in Luke chapter 12. Bear with me 1 second as I put it up. Luke 19. We'll get straight to the point and we'll close this lesson out. Going back into that reward, Luke chapter 19. And I'm putting the KJV. Okay. Luke chapter 19. And I can start at verse 11. Yep. I'll start at verse 12. Therefore, he said, a certain nobleman went to a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And we know that is who? Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. So he called 10 of his servants, delivered to them 10 minas. It's supposed to be talents. It must didn't go to the KJV yet. See. Okay. That's pounds here. All right. Luke chapter 19, verse 13. He called his 10 servants to deliver them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's go down a little bit. All right, Luke 19 and 15, let's start here. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, you see, because what Yahweh Shah, he already came on the scene. Now he's sitting at the right hand side of the Most High, and now he already so he received the kingdom, he received that power, that dominion. So now he's coming back. What? Then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. He said unto him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. So that was this faithful servant, his reward. That was his payment. You know, he took care of those 10 pounds, and he would receive what? 10 cities. And the second came saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. He said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. And another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in a napkin. You see? That showed that what? He did not do the work. The Lord gave him a pound. The Lord gave him the Lord hired him, gave him a job, gave him the spirit to be able to go into these scriptures to teach. But what? He kept it laid in the napkin. Verse 21. I fear thee because thou art an austere man, that takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. He said unto him, Out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto everyone which shall be given, and from him, it's like, for I say unto you, that unto everyone which hath shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have, shall be taken from him. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and slay them before me. But ultimately, what, man? You don't do this work, you gonna be cast aside with the unbelievers, man. You gonna be slaved because you're not honoring the Lord. You're not doing the work. He hired you to do a job, man. So what? At the end of the day, we all gonna be tried. But the Lord. That's why He's telling you in the book of Hebrews, He's not unrighteous to forget your work to love, in which you have ministered to His saints, and still do. All right, and do minister. You see? So what, Lord, we're gonna be part of that number, we're gonna receive of that penny, we're gonna receive of that reward. Our payment is gonna be salvation. But until you out there that's playing, changing the doctrine, you know what I'm saying, being given it to change, all right, not here bullshit, not taking care of the Lord's vineyard, all right, what? You're gonna be condemned to everlasting fire, man. The Lord will take you out, man. You and your household. All right. So with that, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders